Pursuant to Internal Revenue Service guidance, be advised that any federal tax advice contained in this program is not intended to be used, and it cannot be used by any person or entity for the purpose of avoiding any tax penalties that may be imposed by the Internal Revenue Service or any other U.S. federal taxing authority or agency, or promoting, marketing, or recommending to another party any transaction or matter addressed in this show. The opinions expressed by the host and the guests are their own and may not be used as authoritative advice. Any use of this material without the written consent of the host is strictly prohibited.
Welcome back. I am your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy, and this is the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560, The Answer. I want to remind people that this segment is sponsored by OPM Tax Resolution and the Law Office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC. So if you have some tax problems, you should give them a call at 312-664.
That would be you.
That is me. 312-664-6649. These are separate entities, Jim, and we're going to talk about that next week because we have a listener question.
From Facebook,
about that, and I'm going to talk about that next week. But this week, I thought it was important that we talked about.
Oh, that's right. This is the part of the show where we put out the listener questions, and this week. Again, from Dr. Richard Fader from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He's a very profound writer and of letters, questioner and writer of letters. He says, "Dear Attorney Steve Leahy, I filed an extension on my tax returns for 2013. What are they due?"
Well, that's a very good question, Dr. Fader.
Thank you.
Okay, because. And this is the reason why I wanted to take this question today instead of next week, because October 15th is right around the corner, Wednesday.
And, you mean this week?
This week, and it's Wednesday, and that's the day.
Prince Spaghetti Day.
But I want to talk about extensions in general, because I got to tell you, I see a lot of people who come to see me about IRS problems. One of the biggest problems is they haven't filed in some years. So I'll say, well, have you filed your taxes? Well, I know I haven't filed since 2009, but I have filed an extension every year.
That was me.
And I have to tell them, that doesn't count. Okay.
I found that out.
Okay, so let's talk about what does it take to have an extension? What do you have to do?
Tell them one thing, even with an extension, you got to pay them.
Well, I want to get to that because I think
if I could pay you, I would want an extension.
I hear that a lot. If I couldn't pay them and I owed them some money, the IRS, and I couldn't pay them, and so I thought I would just get an extension, and that would give me 6 months to pay them. And the answer to that is no. They want the money on April 15th. Like everybody else, you are supposed to pay by April 15th, and if you don't pay by April 15th, then there is a penalty. You pay a penalty, more money. So if you can't afford to pay your taxes, first, my first advice to almost everybody that comes in my office is always, always, always file your taxes on time. File the return on time. Whether you can pay them or not, file the return on time. And there's a lot of reasons for this, but the biggest reason I think it has to do with, well, we talk about compliance a lot in this show. Got to be in compliance, because they won't help you resolve your IRS problem unless you're in compliance. And compliance generally means you filed your taxes. They don't always have to be on time to be in compliance, but on-time compliance is part of it. And there's another reason, and that's called the statute of limitations. There is a statute on how long the IRS can go after you, and that doesn't kick in until you file your taxes. Actually, it kicks in when it's assessed, but the date they can assess you kicks in when you file it. So if I don't file my taxes, and for 3 years, generally the IRS has 3 years to assess your taxes, to audit you. And if they don't, but that's from the date that you file. So if I file on time, then they have 3 years from that date to audit me.
What if my hard drive crashes and I can't find my information?
Tough luck, mister. Okay, we don't have that. So to get an extension, it's automatic. Everybody can get an extension. You don't have to, but you have to fill out a form. So it's form 4868, and there's 3 ways to do it. One is to file the extension instead of the return. You could do that electronically. I saw a statistic today that 81% of all tax returns were filed electronically this year. It's a huge. In 2001, it was 35%. So I would think by in not too distant future, it's going to be in the 90s and the high 90s.
Think of how much money that saves.
Yeah, unbelievable.
The government. Have we gotten a tax break for that? No, of course not.
Now, if you pay your estimated taxes, and you can pay it by credit card or electronic federal tax payment system, then they'll give you an extension automatically. So you pay, and you don't file your return, you get an extension. And or you can do it the old-fashioned way, Jim. You could just send in the form. It's Form 48.
What, you mean the one is, I already sent the check. I don't know where it is.
That's right. So you can send it in the mail, and they'll give you the extension. But again, it's only for 6 months. You have to pay on time, and then that 6 months comes October 15th. So if you don't file by October 15th, then you're going to get another.
Can I get another extension?
That's when you're going to get. No, there is no more extensions. It's 6 months. That's it. Most people are going to use this because they have complicated tax forms. At least that's what it's meant to do. But I think most of the time people get an extension because they can't pay.
That's right.
And so they get an extension. And again, that doesn't help you.
I'll feel your pain.
It doesn't help you. So again, if you're going to owe some money to the IRS, still get your taxes done on time. Get your tax return filed on time. And just because they give you 6 months doesn't mean you have to wait till October 14th or October 15th to file them. You could still file them before that. So maybe I could file them in May. File them in May. Get the extension and then file them in May. Don't wait till October 15th. Because the day will come and go.
See, the funny thing is, I got to pay them interest from my time April till now. But when they keep my money all year and they give it back to me in April, they don't pay me interest.
Life isn't fair, Jim. And if life isn't fair to you and you have IRS problems, then
there's only one place to go.
That's right. 312-664-6649.
And who is that?
You can visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. And if you have a question, send us a question at questions@irsradiohour.com.
Be right back.